Hue is the place that has much more to offer than many realize. Often treated as a transition spot, it's common to hear that spending 2 days only is enough to explore the city and get bored. Hue covers everything from historical sites, cultural activities, amazing cuisine, to nature beauty and the wonderful people. On our trip, we decided to stay for not 1 or 2, but 6 days instead, and it was not nearly enough. It was where we went deeper into slow traveling and enjoyed every moment of it. It was raining quite a lot when we arrived, causing us to worry a little bit. When we were at the homestay, we were wondering if we should stay in and wait for the rain to stop or should just go out anyway. And I'm glad that we chose to go out. I typically do not favor rainy weather, but Hue in the rain has this poetic, romantic beauty. It was really special, and I had a really nice time walking around. I was very excited to finally have an authentic food experience in Hue. I love Hue food and I just couldn't wait to dig in. This was just a random restaurant that we found near our place, but I think the food was good and we were happy with it. A lot of people told me that the nightlife here is very boring, which we disagree. We think that it was not very crowded, but also not very empty, and we enjoyed our peaceful time walking around, exploring the city by night. The sun finally showed up, and today would be a very nice day. This was a cute little coffee shop with live piano performances, and we were the only one there at the time. Our biggest plan of the day is to visit the Suoi Imperial City. We are on our way there and the streets are really nice and clean. I feel like it's way cleaner than in Hanoi. Before this trip, my camera actually broke, and after getting it fixed, I didn't realize that it still had some focus problems. So I'm sorry if some scenes are blurry. It was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's quite a massive place. So we actually didn't have the time to visit all the sites within the Imperial City this time. I did not fully film everywhere I went, but you will see a glimpse of it, and I hope that it will inspire you to come and explore this place yourself. I was very interested in the Kienchung Palace, which is one of the 5 important monuments here. It was built in 1921 and completed in 1923 under the reign of Khai Emperor. And in the next day, you will get to see the mausoleum of the same emperor. It was actually destroyed completely during the war in 1947, and the Hue Monuments Conservation Center restored this palace based on past documents. The restoration was finished and open for the public to visit in 2024. So I think we came to visit at the very right time. After long hours of walking, we decided to treat ourselves with the famous Hue sweet soup. I love most kinds of Vietnamese sweet soups. It can be snack, they can be dessert. This dish is amazing. And now it's dinner time. We were so hungry. I don't know why, but I love all kinds of food that is wrap and roll style. For entertainment tonight, we decided to go to Hue folk songs show on the Perfume River. It is one of the most famous traditional music in Vietnam, and enjoying the show while floating on the Perfume River is something that everyone should experience when they come to Hue. It is not the kind of music that I would usually go for, but it was absolutely pleasurable to hear and see it live. I found it interesting how the performer used the small bowls as an instrument to accompany the songs. In the middle of the show, we also got to join the activity of releasing flower lanterns on the river, which was quite nice. After the show, we went a bit crazy and had sweet soup again. That was a bit much sugar for a day, but we don't get to have this when we come back to Hanoi. We are continuing with the next day, driving around 10 kilometers to reach the Mausoleum of Emperor Khai. It is one of Vietnam's most architecturally unique royal tombs, combining Vietnamese, Hindu, Buddhist, and Western architectural elements. The statues are carved with sophisticated motifs, demonstrating the high level of craftsmanship. Later in the afternoon, we went walking and sitting by the Perfume River, watching people swimming, paddling, and having fun. It was a weekend, so the streets at night were more lively and filled with people. There were night market activities going on as well, so it was not sad as what people usually say. The next morning, we were upgraded to a bigger room in our homestay for free. The story is that we accidentally booked a small room, and when we arrived, there was no bigger one available. Since our stay is longer than that of usual guests, the homestay offered us to switch rooms. I guess there are new guests that wanted to book the small room we were staying in, but it was still very nice of them to offer. We didn't really mind the small room though. It was cozy and very clean. There was enough room to walk freely, and those are all what we need when we travel. The staff were so nice and friendly and recommended us nice spots to visit. When we told them that we wanted to go to the beach, they recommended us to come to the beach bar where we would have to pay the entrance ticket. But it was more quiet and way less people than in the local beach area. This place was constructed beautifully and has this dreamy nature vibe. It's a perfect place to just chill. Many people, including Vietnamese, are not aware that Hue has beautiful beaches right within the city, and this one is not that far from the city center. Most travelers would head to Da Nang for their beach holiday, but Hue has some calm, peaceful beaches that are totally worth a visit. It's not a fancy place with stunning views or anything, but it's a place you don't get bored of, and you would want to stay and relax here all day. It was quite sunny, so I was staying in the shade, resting before jumping in the water. When we bought the entrance ticket, we could order food and drinks within the ticket price without having to pay extra. If we had ordered more, we could have paid for that extra amount later. It got more crowded in the late afternoon, but it was still pretty quiet and calm. This day was probably the most favorite day of our whole trip. We first went to Suoi Tien, a majestic place with views looking like paintings. I really wanted to come here, but we thought we couldn't. We were on our way to Lang Ko Bay, which was 60 kilometers away from the city center, so we didn't think that we had time for both destinations. Thankfully, our driver told us that this place was on the way, and we could totally visit both in one day. So that's what we did. I still cannot get over how beautiful this place was. The water was so cool and crystal clear, inviting us to jump in on this hot weather day. We also got to know a local group of men who had been friends since childhood. They were having a group outing and invited us to join in. We had a few good hours of talking, eating, swimming, and having fun. They just came back from Lang Ko Bay while we were about to go there, so we met in the middle. We had such a great time, and it was totally unexpected that we could form some kind of friendship while traveling here. We say goodbye for now to continue our journey to the next destination. When we first arrived to Lang Ko Bay, I felt a little bit underwhelmed. However, when I went in the water and looked around, I could see why it is so well known. Everything was absolutely beautiful. We were swimming, playing in the water all day and got pretty tired, but it was a day full of fun and fond memories. this point, we were on our last full day in Hue, so we wanted a simple, laid-back day to just relax. We went back to the beach and spent most of the time there. It was supposed to be a chill, normal day with no special activity. But on our way back, when we were crossing the Thuận An Bridge, we witnessed one of the most magnificent sunsets. No footage or photo that I took could properly capture this moment. The whole sky was filled with vivid red color. We had planned to meet our local friends and have a goodbye dinner with them. They brought us to this local food place by the Perfume River, and mostly the locals come here only, so we got the chance to taste the local food that we wouldn't be able to taste in those other touristy restaurants. We had so much fun talking, having dinner, and I don't know why I kind of enjoy talking to older people than to people my age in recent years. Probably they have calmness and more wisdom or something like that. After dinner, they showed us their neighborhood, where they live and have their businesses. Then it was finally time to say goodbye because the next day we would have to go to the airport very early. I definitely hope this was not the last time that we could meet. One of them even gave us a gift, which were 2 cooking books teaching how to make Hue food. They also gave us some fish that were very fresh to bring back home. Our trip to Hue was a near-perfect adventure. There were only some small incidents. For example, on our first day, I was craving sweet soup, so we were looking for a shop and we went to a place, but the owner and the staff were not friendly at all. Especially there was a male staff who repeatedly ignored customers' requests, which was quite weird, and that's why we couldn't really enjoy the food. And when we were walking on the street, it was not always peaceful because we met some pedicab drivers, and not all of them, but some of them would follow us for quite a long time and tried very hard to convince us to use their service. And we were trying to be nice and polite, but they didn't give up. And then we had to be more firm so they could just stop and leave us alone. Those were really just small problems. Overall, this was one of the best trips that we've ever had. And there were still plenty of attractions and activities that we couldn't fit in this time. We definitely wanted to see more of the historical sites, discover more natural landscapes, and hopefully one day we will be able to meet our local friends again. I hope that if you ever get the chance to come here, you will take your time and slow down to really get to know this place, because Hue is a place that's really worth the appreciation, and you cannot appreciate it enough if you just jump from one location to another to do your check-ins or just to tick the boxes. For me, Hue is a place to travel slowly and intentionally. In the next video of my travel series, we'll be leaving Vietnam again to explore a new country, which is Japan. This trip had a completely different travel style compared to any of my past adventures. I wouldn't call it one of my favorites, but I think any adventure is a story worth sharing.